Good morning and welcome to Scruffy Puppy Pet Salon. I am working on George here. He is an Australian Labradoodle. I've been grooming him for the last few years. He's a wonderful boy. He comes in about every 4 weeks for a haircut and stays in very nice shape because of it. And he's just a wonderful boy to work on. This is my less mess doodle face, because one of the biggest complaints I get from doodle owners is all of this is a disaster. And sopping wet, even fresh out of the tub and blow dried. So I have trimmed out his body for the most part. I take a zero comb all over him and just kind of follow up and shape with the scissors. But the face, all I have done so far is just take the thinners to this little bit right here, just to make sure that we get all the extra coat worked out of there. So he's got a nice little bit of an eye line. And then next thing I do is I'll take my clippers with the zero comb on it, and I kind of blend down the back of the head into the neck a little bit. I'm standing him up on end, so I'm not getting quite so tight to the top of his head, so it gives me just a little bit of a blend. I'm going to do the same thing down over the ears, just kind of get them to blend in so they don't get so big and huge. And the back side of them, so on this side, again, stand the clipper up on end, just the teeth are touching. So I'm just getting the littlest bit of coat off. I kind of blend just a little bit over the head, mostly just trying to get it into the back of the neck so it's a little bit cleaner of a line. Pull the ear up and take the entire neck down to blend in with the length on the body, because same attachment that's on the body is a zero comb. It takes them about that much length. Yeah, so I go all the way around the neck, again, blend it into the body. Most of that's already been done. Lift the ears, make sure I'm getting all the way to the base of the ear, have the skin pulled tight so that I'm not catching anything with the clipper comb. And then once we have that all nicely worked out all the way around the neck and shoulder, take his chin up and I go reverse. And I come up in through here. So I start at the base of his throat like you would a standard poodle. Come up to about the corner of his cheek and the corner of his jaw, and I just keep working it like that through the base of his ear, because I want all of this kind of out of my way so I can have a nice, clean, specific jawline. Can you hit the left? Right. And again, just kind of up into where his jawbone lands. And then I continue it up the entire lower jaw. So I will then pull the hair up on his lips, find that line, try to get most of that out of my way, pull his lip back nice and straight, and just continue with that. Getting rid of all the extra coat in here and just taking it down to a much more reasonable length. I usually use the length that I use on the body. Oh boy, sometimes I'll do 1 or 2 lengths shorter, or sometimes I'll just throw a 7 blade on there and really get rid of it if they're excessively wet now. But he comes in so regularly, I don't have to worry about him overgrowing too much. Right, buddy? He's your good boy. So now that that's done, I'm actually going to go ahead and pop a 10 on here real quick. And hype a block. And double check that I get this little bit right here, just a little bit closer. And pull the lip back, kind of just cut just that bit out that goes right there, because that tends to catch a little extra debris and such. Won't be missed. And I like to shave the front of his lips, so you have to kind of go in there, put your finger, pull the lip forward, and just get that trim back. Because again, it just gives you a place for your lines to start and end. And the other thing I do is I take a 10 to the inside of his ear. I'm not fond of plucking ear hair on dogs that don't have ear issues. I find that messing with the hair opens up follicles, which in my mind makes them more capable of getting ear infections. If they get like super thick where it starts to really fill the ear canal, where the ear doesn't breathe properly, I'll take it out. And anytime an owner asks, I always take it out. But most of my owners agree with the way that I manage it. Alright, so everything gets brushed forward and down. And then the next step is laying the line over the bangs, so everything forward and down. So from my perspective, I'm seeing that. I'm just going to take the clippers up, or the scissors, sorry. Using they're an 8.5 curved. And I try to separate the eyelashes a little from the rest. eyes. Alright, so once I have that done, I'm going to turn the head to one side, pull the ear up over, and you can see how all this coat's starting to kind of give you a line to follow. So, jerk the ear up out of the way, so just follow that down, close the mouth, and follow the lip line. Always keep my hand on the mouth and keep their mouth closed, that way I can feel if they start to open up. To go to stick their tongue out, you feel it coming. So again, same thing. Each side, ear up, brush. Okay. Big hands are helpful. Alrighty. So again, just gonna kind of brush down. I'm gonna use this line that I gave myself a starting point for. Take it around, I give myself an ending point here. And the whole jawline comes kind of clean. And I'm getting a decent angle for you guys to see it there. So forward, boy, do every line 2 or 3 times just to make sure you got it all and it's even and it matches. And then I'm going to come up here from the front, just kind of work that line back that direction. So from this side, boy, make sure we get a little bit of that transition cleaned up a little bit. So we have. Transition a little cleaner there. So it's got a little cowlick there so it didn't clip out as evenly as the other side. Alright, pull up the cheeks. Good boy. And then kind of shake it out a little. Top of his head has a nice little loose sway of laying. It's not laying in one direction or another. And I just take just the tips off with a very loose, and then I'll come in a little closer on the cheeks as I come down this side. Again, just working into that same jawline. I already laid myself out. So again, he comes in every month, so I'm not having to take a whole lot off. Just keeping the shape of the face. So it's about, most dogs grow at about 1/4 of an inch a month, so that's usually about what you're taking off, is just 1/4 of an inch. The one that comes in this consistently. Good boy. Works a little easier if you go on a downward angle. That's easier to just use the tip of your scissors just to kind of catch the end of the hair. Use the scissors to fluff it up and follow the line down. Good boy. And do the same thing over the back of his head. Good boy. Again, I kind of already set this shape a little bit with the clippers, so it's just simply kind of following the lines and getting it to blend. If you're a little less secure in what you're doing through here, especially using that, like I said, that end of the scissors just to kind of get that little flip where I just take the littlest bit off the ends. Another good thing to use is a set of thinning shears. Probably take you about twice as long, but it's going to leave you with a very soft shape. So you can just kind of work your way through. Keep brushing everything up. And again, I'm just hitting the ends. And the thinning shears are really nice because it leaves you with just a slightly more natural kind of edge to everything. So even if you do it with the scissors, you can always go over once more with the thinning shears and just kind of soften all your edges. It actually is a nice effect for over the top of his head. Yep, there we go. And now I'm going to go ahead and get his ears double checked once through. Why? All sides are brushed. And then my regular curves. Just follow the line. I like to leave it, you can feel the leather kind of stops here. I like to leave them over the leather a bit, but I like them to be short enough that they're not all the way to the end of their nose, because that keeps them out of the water bowl and helps keep their faces a little bit cleaner, a little less messy. So just follow the outline of that ear leather. Let it blend into his face nicely like that. You're a handsome boy, aren't you, Georgie? I'm gonna get after that front of his face a little bit more in a sec. Alright, so down the ear line. I love regular dogs. They're so nice. Just follow the lines you already have laid out. It's fantastic. Good boy. Alright, so now we have most of that shape roughed in. Straight to the line. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and take all this forward. Fluff it up a little. Take it forward. So on this side. Basically everything that's sitting here soppy and wet thinning shears into. Again, I've got his mouth clamped shut, not hard pressure, but enough that I feel him if he goes to change. I know, it's funny having your whiskies trimmed. Just gonna fluff all that up a little bit. I'm just aiming for the stuff that wants to stay wet. Like cord thinning shears. Always be very careful when you're cleaning the hair out of your thinning shears. I can't tell you how many times I sliced my fingers open the first few years of grooming. It is a delicate art. Good boy. So it looks like that side's a little more done than this side, so I gotta get in here and just kind of even it up a touch. Good boy. There we go. I'm gonna come up with this. I want some over the top of his nose a touch. Wet, wet face. Good boy. Usually I can just shake the hair out, but it's a little wet, so it's sticking up with the scissors. Sticking in my comb too. Good boy. There you go. Good boy. I'm gonna just tuck in here one more time. Easy way worked. And just clean up this line up against his bottom jaw just a little bit tighter. I just don't want any more of that hair. I don't want that hair to have any more length than absolutely necessary. Keep him so he's got the look of a little scruffy dude, but there's a bit of neatness to it too. Oh boy. Alright, let me see. Let's see how that turned out. Just a touch more blend right here, I think. Boy. Real scissors, a little extra length right there. That's what I was fighting with. So I could have gotten a little tighter into that jaw on that side with the clippers the first time around. A little more even. It is always hard being going from left to right on a dog. Oh boy. Alrighty, George. So that's how his face starts out at the beginning of a haircut, and he grows back to what he was like when I first showed you guys the video camera. So it's enough of a scruff. It keeps him doodly looking enough. It looks really cute on a standard poodle or on any of your poodle mixes. And I kind of like it on, honestly, I've kind of incorporated that tight jawline into a lot of the other breeds I'm doing. Again, just because most dogs' faces just get too gross too easily for the owners. So start getting rid of some of that, some of those areas that like to get messy. And you'll have a lot happier owners. Ta-da! And that's a George. Say goodbye to your friends, George. He's a good boy. Hey, Georgie. Is he handsome? George. Cookie? Cookies? You like cookies? I'll find one for you. Hi, handsome. One thing. Always check the face expression. See the things you missed. Thinning shears are a groomer's best friend. There you go. Good boy. Calics aren't. Good boy, George. You're a sweetie. Have a good day, guys.